Hello everyone, Kent Bressler here. I want to welcome you to Kent's Kidney Stories. During our time together over these podcasts, I'd like to discuss kidney disease. I'd like to tell you about my journey as a transplant patient, but also talk about dialysis, kidney donation, and just about anything else that might be of interest. Kent's Kidney Stories, podcast endorsed and sponsored by kidneysolutions.org. Good morning, Kent Bressler here. I want to apologize for my voice. I've had a little bronchitis for the past couple weeks, and it's kind of scary because my voice will come and go. So just bear with me because it's very important that I do these. I've been having a lot of fun with them, and they keep me in the kidney game. So today I want to start with a prayer like we always do. So we could just bow our heads in prayer. Good morning, Lord. Today's a new day, a chance for a new start. Yesterday's gone, and with it go many regrets and maybe mistakes or failures that I've experienced and others have experienced. It's a good day, though, to be glad and give thanks. And I do give thanks, Lord. Thank you for today, a new opportunity to love, to give, and be all that you want us to be. We ask for your guidance and your assistance in this troubled time, for we know you have the answers. We ask it in your name, Lord. Amen. Well, here we go. I'm I'm kind of excited because I haven't had a chance to talk for about 2 weeks, so it's better. And when I get a chance to talk, I'm going to do it. So the only person who's been happy about this laryngitis and bronchitis thing's been my wife. She hasn't had to listen to me. Well, anyway, we're gonna go on a journey again today, thanks to Kidney Solutions. Kidney Solutions is a 501c that we work with, helping people get donors. But before I start, I have a guest today, Jonathan Traylor, and before I get started with him, I wanted to tell you how difficult these times are. We're in this COVID-19 or coronavirus era, and everybody is kind of secluded. If you're not in quarantine or if you're not staying at home, shame on you because you're supposed to. And if you aren't, I would hope you'd get there because this is really not a good thing, this COVID-19. Anyway, I wanted to tell you a story. On Saturday, I got a call in the middle of the day out of the clear blue from a gal that lives in the Woodlands. Now, this gal is 97 years old, and she lives in an assisted living. It's a very nice assisted living area. Has over 125 or 130 people in it. Anyway, she called and told me, well, she said, 2 people tested positive for the virus here in our community, meaning in their building. And I said, oh no, Felita, what's going on then with you? And she said, well, I'm sad because I'm caught in the apartment. I can't go anywhere. No one can come in. We can't go out. I'm actually sequestered in my apartment. Now, this apartment is not a big apartment. I've been in it several times when I visited her. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, dearest Lord, how in the world could someone survive in that environment at 97? I don't know how she's doing it, but I told her, I said, listen, Felita, I'm going to call you as much as I can. We'll write you letters. And she said, oh, I would love that. So I went around, I called all my pals that have known her because she's a church gal that lived with us here in Kerrville, and then she moved out to Houston. Anyway, I want to tell you, you don't have it bad. You don't have it bad if you can walk outside. You can take a walk. You don't have it bad. Trust me, you don't have it bad. Fleeta's got it bad. All right. So your prayers, if you get a chance, just say, Lord, will you take care of Fleeta and make this go away so that she can have some freedom to move about. And I think about her and the thousands of elderly folks that are in institutions like this, or they're not institutions, that in apartment complexes, wherever, that are secluded now. They have nothing. So count your blessings, folks. Seek somebody out and help them. This is a time that we all have to be together. We can't. We just can't be selfish here. Because if you are, you're missing the boat. Well, anyway, with that, bless you, Fleeta. I know you're going to listen to this. You've listened to all of these podcasts. And trust me, this will get better. Okay. So this journey that I've been on with kidney disease, I've run into lots and lots of people. And one of the people that I have close contact with now is Jonathan Traylor. Jonathan lives in the same community as I do. And Jonathan's looking for a kidney. He's on dialysis, and I wanted him to tell you his story because it resonates with a lot of you, I'm sure. But if you could spread the word that Jonathan needs a kidney, we would appreciate it. And we'll give you the phone number. He's registered at Methodist. And we can, if you'll just email me, we can get you all the information that you need if you're considering donating at this point in time. So right now, I'd like to be quiet a little bit and introduce to you Jonathan Traylor. How are you, Jonathan?
Well, Ken, I'm doing pretty good this morning. I appreciate you having me on your podcast, and looking forward to interviewing with you.
That's a good thing because, as I've told you before, preemptively, what I want to do is have you totally relaxed. Can you tell me, you have a very interesting story about how you found out about your kidney disease and how it happened to you. Can you kind of give us an idea what happened?
Well, unfortunately, Ken, I started having some urinary tract infections, which was told later on that urinary tract infections are pretty rare for men, um, and that they're not normal for most men. So they would just treat that with usually with antibiotics and send you home. And then you would recover from those, I would recover from the urinary tract infections. And then later on, I was basically, I started having issues with overflow of urine that was going back into the, into my kidneys, and actually shut down one of my kidneys. And I was only operating at one point with just one of my kidneys. And then back in June of 2019, I went into complete kidney failure. As a matter of fact, it was July 8th was the complete kidney failure. I had been sick and thought I was fighting like flu symptoms, and I was stuck in the bed, and my wife was begging me. I was being a stubborn husband at the time, and my wife was begging me to go to the emergency room. I kept telling her I would be okay, and one thing led to another. I tried to get out of the bed, And at one point, I just could not even get out of the bed. I actually fell on the floor, and my teenage son and my wife had to help me, actually assist me get back in the bed. And from that point, I knew that I knew there was something wrong. And anyway, my story's long. I'll give you the more, I guess, of the short end. But anyway, we called 911 at that point, and I got to Peterson Hospital here in Kerrville, and they ran the blood work and found out that I was in complete kidney failure. And of course, Sid Peterson doesn't have a dialysis ward to be able to treat that. So they had to put me on a helicopter and staff flight me immediately to Methodist, Maine, in San Antonio. And of course, as soon as I got there, I had never flown on a helicopter before in my life. And so that was very interesting because, I didn't even have, I wasn't nervous at all. It was like God had given me peace over it. And I was able to just, float right along all the way there, and didn't have any anxiety or anything. But anyway, as soon as they wheeled me in there into the emergency room, I remember the emergency room physician saying, "Oh boy, we better grab the crash cart." Um, I didn't know this, but my potassium level was so high because of the kidney failure that my potassium level caused my heart to go into a bad rhythm. Um, and
Yep.
I had a cardio episode that they had to actually at the point after the doctor had said grab the crash cart, I blacked out. And from that point, I went into a cardio episode, and they had to shock me and bring me back.
You actually
And
died.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
When
really.
I actually came to, this was like 3 days later in the ICU. I had been on dialysis on the machine. My wife said I was on the machine for like 6 hours at a time. Um, my wife and my kids were really distraught at the time. They were really praying for me. First of all, I want to say that we're a family of faith and we are believers. And without that faith, I wouldn't be here right now doing the interview with you, Kent. So there's not a doubt in my mind that faith, hope, and prayers in the good Lord is what brought me through that whole ordeal. And anyway, I woke up 3 days later, basically strapped to a bed, and I had every kind of tube and line coming out of me, basically keeping me alive. And um, long story short, the kidney failure, I immediately had to go on dialysis. So, um, I didn't realize at the time because I hadn't been going to the doctors and I hadn't really been taking it as serious as what I should have. And because of that, probably a simple blood test would have helped me out a lot. But at the time, I thought it was going to go away, or I thought I was going to get better on my own. Prior to being sick, I didn't have a whole lot of symptoms other than the urinary tract infections, and I did have hypertension and type 2 diabetes, and that's one of the major factors of what caused my kidneys to fail was not properly managing type 2 diabetes and hypertension, which both were, family history things, things that I acquired, mom, grandparents, father, all of them have hypertension and all of them were type 2 diabetic. And so,
Jonathan, Jonathan, you're telling the story that's quite common amongst all people, especially ones that don't understand about making sure they get to see a physician, doing the things they need to do to stay healthy. And that's
Yeah.
not to fault you, because when you're young, you just feel like it's okay. Everything's going to work out. And
Yes.
sickness comes over you, and you're not in the medical field. You don't know what it's all about unless you have a really strong physician connection. You're going to struggle and suffer like you did. And so don't beat yourself up. This story is fantastic because there are a lot of people out there that are right now going through what you went through. What
Yes.
an amazing story.
So I strongly urge, if you are having any symptoms at all of like urinary tract infections, or you're having any kind of foamy urine or anything like that, I would definitely seek out a medical. Reach out to your primary care and try to get in and speak with the nephrologist, because foamy urine is not normal, and things like that are not normal, and those are things that I was ignoring. I was ignoring that, and those are symptoms that something is definitely going on. Something's wrong, and those symptoms are not going to go away. They're just not. Unless you just have a miraculous event, they're not going to go away. They're going to continue to get worse. And I strongly urge. I've had conversations with family members that know about my story, and they've actually now went to the doctor and got checked out because of my story. So if anything, my story is helping people, because it's you know causing people to be cautious about their health, about their own health. And so people ask me questions all the time now regarding kidney issues and things like that. Hey, what about this? What about that? And I'm able to tell them my story, and tell them it's no joke. It's something that you definitely need to check into. It's a serious matter.
That foamy urine, I still have that. Did you realize that? I still have that after 30 years after transplant.
Wow.
No, that foamy urine is indicative of protein in your urine, but I don't have protein.
Mm.
I don't have any protein in my urine. But early on, like before you got sick and had to go to the intensive care unit, that foamy urine was definitely protein. If they tested somewhere, they had to test you for protein in your urine, which is a
Mm.
simple $5 test. It's a urine test.
Yeah.
All right. So what you're saying is, if you have type 2 diabetes, if you have anything such as urinary tract infections, not everybody has those, but those are signs and symptoms you need to care for right now. You don't wait, right? And we've
Right.
stressed that over the course with this virus to itself. Don't wait on symptoms, because symptoms are they're like a red flag.
Hmm.
Do something about them, right?
Right. And that, yeah.
So so tell me how is it that before on were you seeing a family doctor? Don't mention any names, but were you seeing a family doctor?
Unfortunately, I was not, and I didn't take it serious enough. And like you said, I was young. At this point, I'm 42, but I mean, we're talking about I had symptoms of this in my 30s, and so I just, you think you're Superman. You think you're just going to live forever, and you don't need to go the assistance of a doctor. I had a white coat syndrome where I just did not like doctors. Uh, and now I'm like they're my buddy, because I'm forced to have to
Yeah.
be around them all the time. And so I've seen more doctors probably in the last 8 months than I've ever seen in my life in all my 42 years. So, but beforehand, I stayed away from the medical field. The doctors, they scared me, and I shouldn't have been that way. I just shouldn't have been, but I just was.
Nobody,
And
nobody wants to be sick. Be honest
right,
with yourself, right? I didn't want to be. Jason didn't want to be. All of our friends that have had kidney disease, it was unbelievable. And actually, it's a denying process. You deny you have it, even if you're
mhm,
told. Sometimes you think, well, yeah, it's going to go away, or I'm strong enough, I can overcome it. And I don't want to be sick, because if I'm sick, people are going to look different at me. I might lose my job, or I might, people are going to look at me differently. Well, yeah, but guess what? You got to take care of yourself, or you're not going to be around, right?
right.
What you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're
Yeah,
taking
and
care of
because of that fear, it almost killed me. Because had I been going to a physician, had I been, seeing a nephrologist, we could have set up things a little bit differently. Instead, it became a life-threatening event where my kidneys failed me, and a simple blood test would have showed that I was going in kidney failure. But because I stayed away, we could have set up, but instead it was just a life-threatening event that happened, with my potassium becoming way high. And you know so then I ended up having to have the catheter installed in my chest for the dialysis treatment. And
Yes,
that
yes,
central line they put in your chest, the permacath, is actually kind of a dangerous thing all in itself,
sure,
because
absolutely.
you can get an infection from that thing. And you can't really, it's hard to take showers and to care for yourself. You have to be really careful with that, because if it gets wet, it can get infected, things
Yep.
like that. And I went through that as well, and then finally got a fistula installed, and so that I could continue with the dialysis treatment and get that catheter out. But that uh, those type of things, that I wouldn't have probably had to have that catheter installed had I been going to a nephrologist, and things like
Right.
that. My vascular surgeon that installed the fistula told me that I did everything backwards. uh,
Yeah.
so because we could have they could have put things into steps that would have set me up for dialysis treatment. And I went the hard way. And unfortunately, because I was stubborn and I wasn't taking kidney disease serious, and all the symptoms and signs were there. But because I wasn't taking it serious, so if anything from this interview, I'm hoping if someone's listening out there and they're having any symptoms at all, maybe my story will help them overcome their fear, and they'll go get checked out.
There, this story, this story is definitely beneficial. I hope that people listen to this, and they will, and we'll encourage other people to listen to this. But I want to tell you something, that this is not something that is unique to you. You're not the only one that's experienced this. This acute kidney, it's not actually acute, but they had to use that catheter in your chest because they had no other route to do it. You would have died had you not had that put in. So you have to take the good with the bad. And fortunately for us, your outcome was excellent. And I think that's the way the Lord has worked with you, is allowed you to stay here to help others. Now let's talk about something real important. Really, really important. You need a kidney, okay? Right? You need a
Yes,
kidney. And
yes, sir.
I don't I don't want to I don't want to limit the chance that somebody might do this, but if anyone out there that gets to listen to this knows of anyone, or if they want to do it themselves, please, please, please get a hold of us at Kidney Solutions, and get a hold of Jonathan, so that we can get him a kidney. And he's asking for the Lord's mercy here, and he's hoping that someone will come forward. And that's what we want. Jonathan, tell me what's the most important thing to you with your life now, with two teenage kids. what's the most important thing to you right now?
Most important thing to me right now is family and time with my family. Uh, I'm like I said, I'm 42 and I'm married for 18 years, soon to be 19 years, and I have a son who's a senior at Tybee. He's 17 years old, and I have a daughter that's a sophomore at Tybee. She's 15. She'll be 16 on the 1st of April. And right now, the most important thing with me is that I'm still around and able to stick around for those two children, to continue to watch them, grow and develop into fine young adults, and and then to be a husband also to my wife, Melissa, and to continue to just be there, as a means of support, and just to be there for them. So right now, that's my main goal, and the most important thing I think is for me is time, is time with them. And so right
Exactly.
now, the only way I get that is with the dialysis treatment, is what's uh, that in the good Lord. But right now, the physical part to keep me here is with dialysis treatment 3 times a week, and that's what's keeping me alive right now, is that. And so uh, if I was to receive a kidney, then the dialysis treatment would go away, and and it would make things a little more, well, a lot more stable as far as life expectancy.
It would give you new life. And let's be honest, that's what you want. That's what you're asking for. And
Right.
nothing, that's nothing. That's a small part. Someone out there is going to step forward, Jonathan. They're there. The Lord's going to send them to you. And you know that. We've talked about this before.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to tell you, your story resonates and is very important. And I hope that we can get this out to a lot of people. I know that you're on the Kidney Solution website. I know that your story is on Facebook. I know it's on Instagram. Amanda's put it up and out there for everybody to look at. So all they have to do is go to kidneysolutions.org, or friend us on Facebook and look at your story. It's fantastic. But I want to make sure today that I give you every opportunity to say whatever it is that you want, because we're about to close off here. So, is there anything that you want to share with our listeners?
Uh, I would just say that I'm looking for a kidney, and I really feel like that my kidney's out there, and I think it's in the Lord's hands, and I believe that that person's out there, and at the right time they'll step forward. And if they feel in their heart that they would like to be my donor, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to Kent at Kidney Solutions. And if you have any questions at all, you can speak with them. Um, and I'm looking for someone to be my hero, that wants to step up
Absolutely.
and be forever a part of me. And it would definitely be a life changer for me. Dialysis is not easy. It is not an easy. A lot of people think, oh well, I know people that go to dialysis, and they've lived a long time on dialysis. It's not easy. It's not an easy life. Dialysis is tough. It can, one treatment, everything will go great, and the next treatment, you could have a lot of different side effects. The side effects are sometimes rough. A lot of times I leave there really drained, tired. My kids try to have conversations with me after dialysis, and it's tough to maintain. You're sometimes you just want to be alone and don't want to be bothered. After dialysis, um, it's a tough life. Living on dialysis is a tough life. Anybody that says it's easy, they're lying to you. It's not easy. I do hemodialysis, so I get stuck with needles every time I go. Um, and if you have a fear of needles, you have to get over those pretty quickly, because it's every couple of days. I'm on TTS, which is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and you're stuck on that schedule. Which I may be going into a home hemodialysis, which is a whole different thing. I won't get into that too much, but um, if you're out there and you feel in your heart that you would want to be my donor, it would be great, and be a life changing event for me and my family, and my children would be so much appreciative. And I just wanted to say also, while I have the chance, to a big thank you to Kent and Amanda at Kidney Solutions for all the help and everything that they've done for me and my family. Has just been amazing. They've been great, and turned out to be good buddies, good friends. So forever friends.
That's right. And we're going to stick with you throughout this till you fire us. We don't charge anything, right? You don't ever get a bill from us. You're never going to see a bill. No one does. So that's
No.
that. I just want to get that plug in, because people are worried. Well, I wonder how much it costs. It didn't cost you a thing to have a friendship with Kidney Solutions. Because we're gonna take care of you. All right, one way or the other. People want to donate money to us, that's fine. Okay, we love that to help cover some costs. But let me tell you, here's a phone number before we. First of all, let me thank you, Jonathan. I want you to know how important this talk was. I'm just overjoyed with your presentation and how you carry yourself. At 42 years old, you've got a life to live, buddy. I was transplanted at 37. Okay. I want the best for you. Everybody who's listening wants the best for you. And I'm going to tell you, the best is coming. All right. If they're interested and want to donate, here's a phone number for you to call: 800-888-0402. Or you can go online to the Texas Transplant Institute. That's where Jonathan is signed up for his transplant. Go to that site and they have a form you can fill out. But if you want to get started, 800-888-0402. Jonathan, I don't know what to say to you, but we're going to have you back on, because we want to have you back on after you have your transplant. Okay. As soon as that happens, we'll let everybody know, and we'll have a big party for you. But
Sounds good.
We'll keep our distance. All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Ken.
Folks. You're welcome. You're welcome. Listen, folks, you gotta have heart. This is a hard time to be living, but it's a good time to be living, because you can step out on your own to help others. Be remembering your friends. If everybody who's at home right now gets a call from you or a text or some type of message, it just makes them feel that much better. So give somebody a chance, give them a call, and pray for Felita, will you? In the meantime, keep on breathing.